Begin stream. Execute stream. Just trying to see if I could. Okay, so we've got some leaks we got to deal with here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. Rated a big guy last night. I don't think I'll be. Every time I give it a shot, I'm not gonna do it again. There's just this thing when you get to a certain size as a streamer that it seems like with the dev scene where you don't exist any, like it's weird. It's weird. But maybe each one's different. No, it's working. I'll take it. Nick, how's it going? It's going good. Where is this damn leak happening from? I know it's no 2Ds. There we go. Tapier, how's it going? Oh. Not really. I mean, my name's pretty much everywhere. It's on my Twitter and everything. But I appreciate you looking out for me. God damn. We've got all these orphan nodes all of a sudden, and I have no idea where it's coming from. Yes, my grandparents were first generation immigrants from Germany. As far as I know, it was actually Prussia. So it was a while ago, but not entirely sure though. The records are a little weird, and I don't know. The timing's a little concerning too. I think they left in the 30s. So, I don't know. So it wasn't Prussia by then. It's weird because they immigrated for sure sometime around then, but then all of the records that we found indicate that it was earlier than that, and other generations. And so it's really confusing to us. Like, we haven't been able to figure it out, that part of it. But for sure, my grandparents were immigrants from Germany. Despite what the records say, which is the weird part. Damn it. How to find orphan nodes? I don't want to fix the problem by finding all the orphaned ones and freeing them. I just want to know information about them so I can figure out where the hell it's coming from. But yeah, they came. Oh yeah, you had something like that. I don't understand where it's coming from, and I've got, it's just leaky as all hell right now. Just kind of all of a sudden as well. Well, that's the thing is they're clearly not being added to the scene at all, right? So that much I know, but I don't know why. If I remove child and add child at some point, they're freed automatically. Right. These ones, it's pretty much every time the ball seems to be hit. So it's sometime around then. So only if they're not in the tree when it exits. Right. So these ones certainly are never being added to the tree. They're just being, I'm instantiating something and then they just exist somewhere. At least I think. But see, pretty much every hit of the ball, we get an orphan node. So I'm trying to track down if it's like the ball is being reinstantiated or something. But we're calling rally on the ball. I know it's a node 2D. I know it's a bunch of node 2Ds. New? Sure. How do I search across the entire... I mean, I can look in BSS to start, but I'd like to search all files. So are we looking for... When you say new... Because I'm in C#, so this might be a little different than GDScript. I don't know if you're doing C# as well. Yeah. See, I'm wondering if it's like a reference thing. I don't pass anything as a reference. No, nothing like that. The other thing too is when I call the rally command, that's what tells the ball to change its like determined positions. It's not happening before or after that, but it's happening it's seemingly after the hit happens. Let's just keep investigating. Here's what we'll do. God, I almost wonder if it's next player. I don't know how it could be. Avatar, next player, new. This is it. Right here. This is doing it. That's it. Yes, yeah. I was just going through that, trying to determine when it's happening. I think I just found it though. I was using new here, even though I don't need to, because we're assigning it. So this was just creating a new. I don't know though. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we'll just run it and find out. We'll find out right away. Yeah, that was it. So we were creating a new avatar and then immediately assigning the variable to a different one. So, Jesus. Man, dude, stuff like that is such a... If you don't tape your... I'm sure you know, and I'm sure all you guys know, if you don't deal with that quick, that crap can get out of hand. I'm listening to some Japanese city pop. We can change it though. Yeah, it does. It really does. And then I've just got this one orphan node that starts out right at the beginning. I got to track down. Keep the music. Okay, we'll keep it going. Oh, we were somewhere over here. You started listening to it too as well? Yeah, that's funny. It's so funny. It's like, hey, I like 80s Japanese pop music. What the hell? I still have orphan nodes, even from the engine itself. I have no clue what to do about it. Yeah. Well, then we just have this objects that just comes and goes, and this has got to be from C Sharp. I hope, because the number of objects is constantly growing, and that's concerning to me as well. So maybe this is something else I need to look into. But if we look at the game, this makes no sense to me how this could even be happening. But our objects is just constantly exploding. And I don't know if this is... I don't know what this is about. What is... In the debugger, what is an object in the mind of... new vectors, inputs, and so all of them are new nodes. Tweens. So those are new objects, not nodes. So those are memory managed. Is that because we're dealing with C# stuff? That's right. We were reading that tweens in particular are set on. They're in the garbage collection. And so tweens in C# build up, unfortunately. So that's what that does. And we've seen it clear itself out and go back to where it was before. It's normal. Yeah. It's just concerning because I want to be in control, It weirds me out. And GC is a normal pattern. Okay. Yeah, it's just weird. It just weirds me out. Okay, so let's try and get now that we got that leak figured out, let's change the title of the stream. Yeah. Well, and you don't because tweens are resources. Yeah, they're treated like garbage collection. They're they're managed memory, or you're not managing the memory. They dereference themselves. Bro, I've spent weeks figuring out JVM GC parameters. It's a hellhole. Have you checked inputs in Godot and C#? Like collected inputs to do something with them? Oh my God. Every input is a new struct. In a single frame, you can get dozens, hundreds of structs. Right. Oh, yeah. So you're worrying about coupling objects like this. You'll see worse. Okay. All right. I don't know if that's comforting or not. Okay, so we got rid of that orphan node issue. That's good. So, Tapir, thanks for the advice. That was what it was. So that's one thing that makes it a little bit harder to troubleshoot in the debugger is it's not using... When I did that print, for instance, instead of saying... Because if it had said avatar, for instance, but it's using the original... What I inherited as the object. So it's saying node 2D, which makes it really freaking hard to debug because now it's like, well, I have a bunch of node 2Ds technically. So which one is it? So if it had used the class name that I'd given it, that would make it so much easier to debug. Yeah, I started to override all the toStrings to SI actually, see what the object is when I just print it. There is a toString in the C# version. Yeah, there is. Yeah. All right, so we're going to change the subject of the stream here. Man, that was I'm sorry, that was about an hour of silence. It's sometimes when you're working on a problem, you just need to work on the problem, you know? So I was just sitting there just inspecting, thinking. So I appreciate everyone hanging out during that. I haven't done anything today. I use 411. Finally started Total Warhammer 3 yesterday before I realized it was 5 a.m. I went to sleep and woke up at 1500. Since then I've been cleaning. Dang. Imagine sleeping in like that. That sounds great. All right, so we just got one orphan node. We can track that mother down some other time. It's been there. I just haven't been able to spend the time to deal with it. Disinfection. Oh no. Yeah, that hospital smell. I mean, it's pleasant to smell that when you're in a bathroom because you know it's clean. You know what I mean? But it's not something you want to have be your living space smell. Yeah. I know. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's going good, Riemann. Okay, yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, we just tracked down a. You know what, Riemann? I do have a question for you, and I'm gonna do my best to try to explain it because I've solved the problem, but I don't understand the problem because I'm not passing something. Okay. If you set up something to be passed as a reference, when you manipulate, like, okay, hang on, let me get my words right. Let me redo this. What just happened? Am I in caps lock? Is that way? Yeah, I was in caps lock. Okay, so here's what was going on. I was having this weird problem with the way that we were tweening the ball's arch here. I don't know why everyone's all grouped together in the scene, but they are. Anyways, I was passing the position of the ball into. So in Godot, you have this tween method, which will call. You can tell it what method to call across the time of the tween. And it'll give you can say what values you're tweening, and then those will be updated in the parameters that they're passed to as the tween happens over time. So originally I was passing the actual ball's position, and I had this weird problem where the arch of the ball and when it would do this arch, it was happening way too fast. And I realized what was going on was it was how do I put it? How do I explain this? It was like an additive. So, okay. So I was using the position of the ball as its starting position so that we could tween over a float value, to the position we wanted to go to, right? But what was happening was the position itself was being updated as this method was being called. And the way I fixed it was I created another vector2 for the position, passed the ball's position to that, and then gave that to the thing that calls the method each time as the tween is happening. And that fixed the issue. But so I guess my question is vector2 a class or a struct? Well, it's like I think Nick's right. It's a struct. It's definitely not a class. But yeah, the behavior was not expected because it was acting like a reference, in my opinion. Is a Godot thing or your code or something from .NET? The position stuff's a Godot. They call it, it's a type. I guess you could say it's a variant as Godot refers to it. But how it lives in C#, I'm not 100% sure. I could actually go over and look. Let's see. Oh, wouldn't be able to tell you. I don't think it is. Vec2. It's a Godot vector is what it's referred to as. No, I didn't. So anyways, that was a hard one to figure out because I can show you what the behavior was if I didn't do that. Here's what the ball was doing. If I set it back to position. This took me a while to figure out. This is like sitting in bed kind of thing. See, it's just like it's totally wrong. So I think what's happening is it keeps updating itself. So the from, what it's supposed to be is the from position, but it's not, as the position keeps getting updated, the from position is actually getting like closer and closer and closer, and then you're tweening on top of that, right? And so that's why you're getting this like craziness. At least I think that's what's going on. Is a class and therefore a reference type. It should act exactly as you describe. Vectors are structs. That's weird. See, I'm wondering, Nick. I think this is another bug. It might be some issue with callable. I don't know. Are you sure in Godot they are structs? How could we find out? Yeah. Is it okay if I send him in? We're going to go to Walmart so we can pull out and go. Okay. Are you guys going to get the sausages and all that stuff for the camping?
I'm going to try. Yeah, Gemma has some more stuff on her list too. So,
yeah.
I tried, but I might have to go back first.
Okay.
So. Okay. Love you.
Unless they changed it before. Love you too. It makes me think that callable or tween method is part of this problem then, Nick. So is it possible then, Riemann, that maybe it's being passed as a, if it is a struct, would that indicate that it's being passed as a reference? Isn't his case just the fact that inside his lambda he's capturing the property instead of caching the local variable? I don't know. See, I just need help understanding what's going on. So that I know this is the fix, but I don't quite understand why. Because I wasn't doing this. This is the part that's weird. This is verbatim how I was doing it in GDScript, and I didn't have this problem. So I just need help understanding what's going on in C# to make this problem exist. It was when I started thinking about the problem as other possibilities that I started messing around with that stuff and finally figured it out. So overall, what the whole thing is doing is, if we look at the ball here, we have this parabola that we've created. This allows us to change the arch and the shape of the ball that's applied in the tween over time. So we have full control over what the up and down of the ball is going to look like if we want to change it. Seems like expected behavior. Okay. to find out for sure in Visual Studio. All right, let's. I guess I could open up VS. Maybe.
Can I get the keys from you?
Something always goes wrong when we try to. The keys?
Yeah.
I don't have them. Are they? They would be in the bedroom or in my other shorts. Likely my other shorts. It's a struct. Okay. So let me go and see. We've got Bal. That looks like a struct, right? But it doesn't have the word. Do you put struct in a struct, or do you just not declare a... Press F12. Boop. Yeah, it's a struct. So is it possible then if that it's passing it? Because see, nickname, my expectation with doing the okay, so I'm passing a lambda, but doesn't that the only I guess it makes sense because the position would be changing over time. And then the method keeps getting called. The percentage for the tween is being updated, and that's therefore updating the position. The position is then being updated. Then the percentage is then being applied to the from and the to, but the from keeps changing and getting closer to the to, and so you end up with this crazy behavior that you're not expecting. Nick is right, yeah. Okay. So why doesn't... I always look at these projects and the code looks like this, and I'm like, what the hell doesn't... What? Anyways, okay. It makes sense, I guess, yeah. So, okay, here's a question. Could I do something like... No. It expects two values. So the initial position. So I don't need to declare the... Or is that going to happen every time? It's going to be the same as before. It's going to be the same as before. Okay, never mind. All right. Okay. I get it. Every time it updates position. Yeah. It's weird, though, because the behavior is not the same with GD script. And that, to me, is strange. But it might be that I'm using a different... I'm pretty sure it was the same. I could go back to the old code. I don't want to bother looking it up. Anyways, we'll get back to what I was doing. I guess we could try and play it again, see if everything's still working. Let me, let's turn off the test mode. I still don't have a fail state yet. We don't have a full game loop. Oh, oh, the timer's way too short. That's right, because of my testing. Game timeout. We could do 30 seconds. And then current time to hit's probably way too soon. I'll try 10 seconds. Okay, so the game still works with chat. I guess the next thing I can work on is, oh, you got to see this. Is he showing up? God, look at all that junk he's ripped up on the ground. Okay, I guess we can play it right now. That's fine. I'll keep testing with the spoofer. Anyways, let's get back at it. They lose their teeth just like we do? How did I not know that about dogs? We have a young dog. He's still getting his adult teeth. Oh, just like there's additional teeth that come in. He's constantly chewing anything he can get his jaws on. So yeah, the living room has bits of cardboard everywhere. Yeah, he's doing the same thing. He loves cardboard. And it's I guess it's real common with German Shepherds that they'll just like if they because they're really they're deeply like pack behavior, and so separation anxiety and stuff like that can really kick in. And if you leave them alone for like 30 minutes, they're known to just eat an entire couch basically, or at least tear the whole thing apart. So you have to be really careful until they're about 2 years old, because they go through like they take a while to mature as dogs. Apparently, there's a picture my wife sent me of the like growth cycle of German Shepherds, and it's like this cute little puppy, and then a velociraptor for years, like for the first 36 months, and then just like a sweet big dog after that. So, but he's good. He just appeared on our porch, and C#, the lambda isn't just capturing position value; it has to capture what object position is on. Okay. This is a C sharp thing, not Godot specific. You really had me question this myself for a moment. I just gave it a try separately on only C sharp stuff outside of Godot. Inside your lambda, it just calls the property position every time the lambda is triggered. To cache it in C sharp, you need to store it in a local variable and use that inside. Okay. It has a name in programming. It's something like reflection. I don't know. I hear that one thrown around a lot. All animals get it just about. All mammals. Yeah. Okay. I had no idea. Yeah. I recall the feeling of getting teeth for some reason. And I reflect on it. Speaking of reflection, I recall it as being like an itchy feeling. And that's why like chewing on things felt good. It was like soothing. And like, even though it was painful, it was more pleasant to chew on something because that like relieved the pain for some reason. From what I remember, which is really strange that I remember that specifically. Then nothing else about my childhood. Hang on a second. I'm going to hide the controller right now. There we go. Turn on the scene switcher again. Okay. Reflection, you can learn about objects at runtime. An example, while the program is running, you can find out what type the object is. In C and C++ you cannot, while in C# and JavaScript you can. Okay. Oh, okay. One day I'll build a bot to select those pictures for you are not a bot. All right. So, big picture now. If we go back to what we're trying to do here, we need to free. We have this concept of an avatar, and right now they're only being created on the screen when the game is started. Besides wanting to add like 100 different sort of like animation stuffs, which we're ready to do, I want that behavior of just the characters on the screen before the thing starts. And then whoever joins, as in, like, the people in chat are just, they exist in the background here. And then whoever joins kind of comes onto the field, right? So I need to kind of move some things around. And I will say, here's the other thing I want to mention is I want to set it up so that there's a little bit of delay in the flashing stopping. I gotta look into that. The next game I want to make for this, for like a stream game, is a Monopoly clone, and the board would go all around like the streamer window, like this whole frame here, and we could frame it inside the stream. That's something I want to do. Because I think that'd be fun to play, like in like a group way or something. C++ doesn't have reflection. Built-in, no. There are optional compiler flags to turn on. RTTI, very limited reflection that no one uses. Generally, you have to roll your own. Unreal uses reflection heavily, so I guess they built the entire system for that on their own? Question mark. Yeah, this is the only building this dog is allowed in. Because he'll just destroy everything. That's interesting. Any feature you're not using, you don't pay for. It doesn't use a single byte of memory or CPU instructions. And 2, the language must remain close enough to the hardware that it is impossible to create a language between C++ and assembly. Let's see who followed. Manage stream. Thanks for the follow. Is it Adar? Thanks. All right. So with leak is fixed, let's open up our notes here. What we're working on for this whole thing, and just start. No, we don't want tactics. There we go. Okay. So we got the parabola fixed. So this is an easy one. Flash for the entire team. No. We're not gonna chew TV remotes. No. You want some pets? Oh, you got a stick. That's perfect. Go for that stick. Yeah, that's cherry wood. Yummy. No idea what you're talking about, honestly. I feel like I pay for C++ just using it. Thing about C++ is the different dialects of it, the different frameworks are very different from each other. C++ using WRL and COM, for example, is way more different than standard C++ than C# is from Java. God, that's weird. And they're still the same language. I'm following the development of Jai, which is that programming language that John Blow is working on. And he has this concept like meta programming, I think it's called. But that's not the same as what you're describing. Huh. Make avatars independent of any game. Ah. Called template metaprogramming. I don't know anything about John Blow's language though. Yeah, C++ is more like a language family full of mutually incomprehensible language. It's like is it like oh gosh, this dog. No. Drop it. Calvin. Cal, take that. Take that instead. No, it's not a game. Don't take that. Don't eat it. Man, you're a pain in the butt. But you're cute. Here. Get up there. Get on the couch. Get on the couch. Cal, get on the couch. Get up here. Get up here. Get up here. Up here on the couch. There we go. Good boy. Okay. It's not like Latin though. It sounds like they're like vastly different. Huh. That sucks. That sucks from like a beginner standpoint, because how do you know what you're learning isn't I don't know. French versus Italian versus Spanish. So it's kind of like, yeah, okay. Hmm. All right, so the first thing we need to do is break the concept of add player. We need to look at our main scene. This is where our avatars would just exist. Leave the suffering to others. Yeah, setting out to learn C++ is kind of silly. There is indeed a standard C++. But really you need to decide what you want to build with it and therefore what framework, etc. to use. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of web development in the 90s and early aughts, where you had to develop per browser stuff. So Nick's saying he's learned C++ for Unreal Engine is the right thing to do. Yeah. But in web dev, you have to do... So that sucks, too, because imagine from a game developer's perspective, right? You got all these engines out there, so a lot of in-house engines, and you got to hire these people who know C++ development for Unreal. You got to bring them in, and you got to be like, okay, so here's what you're just never going to use ever again. And here's all this other stuff now that you've got to figure out, because this is what our engine is doing, and this is our C++. But in web dev, you had to dev for everything. This is true. Yeah. Reeman's legit. I don't want to, but he knows his stuff. Because I have no idea what I'm doing. Dude, tell me about it. Okay, so now we actually need to set up... Okay, this is going to get hairy. So we need to set things up to... Let's close a bunch of stuff out that we're not going to be using right now. Ball, BSS, this is all going away for now. All this stuff's going away. So what we need to look at right now is the chat system and main. Let's go full on this and go over to main. Okay, so we only want... Oh my God, we gotta... Oh Lord. Okay, so we're not gonna worry about that just yet. So there's like 100 things that just popped into my head that I have to get set up. Let me write them down because I'm going to forget if I don't. Save avatar customizations. Which we don't have any yet, but we need to be able to do that. Message received. So... Okay. When we bring in a new engineer onto the team, it takes like 6 months to a year for them to be productive. And that is for an experienced engineer who knows the appropriate language. That's insane. Yeah, onboarding's got to suck. It's really got to suck. Like, man. Hang on, my dog's asking to go out. Be right back. I feel bad because anytime he mentions that, something comes up. Okay, so I'm updating the stream here. Mudbound, how's it going? WRL and calm for me. So I always thought those are things you talk to, but those are... I've been using Windows forever. Blaming him would... Yeah. Hey, Mud, how's it going? Let's do some shout-outs here. Do a shout-out to Mud. Shout-out. I'm sure everybody in chat already knows Mud. But for anybody lurking, Mud does some cool work in... he's on Linux and Vim, creating a Pico 8 drone game, and also does some cool other stuff. Seen you do the AI stuff recently, making the command line. Was it a CLI tool for talking to ChatGPT? I'm busy but good. I'm doing good. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing I can't do. Not really, but no, I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm starting to get my head wrapped around programming in C#, and I'm actually able to go back and start reading the docs and understand them now. Because I always have that problem initially where I get overwhelmed, or it's like almost information overload. I kind of just have to start and then go, okay, I'm starting to understand some of this. Let's go back and actually read the more deeper parts of the documentation. Yeah, not released yet, but it'll be open source when I'm satisfied with it. Yeah, it's really cool. It's dope to be able to just talk to it through a CLI though. Because honestly, I hate going to the website. I can't stand the you get that like Ajaxy like waiting, like, oh, I'm typing something. I don't know. Something about all that just really bothers me in the first place. Alpaca locally, which is pretty cool. Threeps talked me through it. What is alpaca? Did you go and buy one from like South America or something? Threeps is in the chat. He's in Mud's chat a lot. LLL. Oh, okay. Oh, that's one of the ones that the GTP3 stuff got leaked, and then a bunch of open source stuff kind of all of a sudden appeared. And then suddenly people were able to do the same thing for far less. Yeah, it was. Oh, that's what it was. It was Facebook. Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, Microsoft actually recently had some huge gains in some of the AI stuff they were doing, with specifically showing that training on the right kinds of data for an LLM yields like good data, yields like much better results for far less like effort. I think they used the example of like training it for like programming stuff by just giving it really like textbooks and things like that for it. And then the amount of I forget exactly how it worked, but I'd have to find there's a video talking about it that I found really interesting. I don't know enough about that to really talk on it in any degree. Yeah, giving it, wait, what is it? Garbage in, garbage out. So I had to deal with a lot of that stuff doing data, anything with data. Like if you're building systems with data, that's interesting. I'm not really aware of what MS is doing beyond partnering with OpenAI. Yeah. Well, you know, it's like they own a little bit of Facebook. They're kind of all over the place. Um, but I think they've, you know, you got to have, if you want to, you never know where the next breakthrough is going to be, and everyone's sort of trying to get on that. Um, I do think it's smart to try to tackle the problem like the open source community is doing, which is how do we do more with less. Certainly the models trained on like GitHub and such are useful, but very capable of suggesting things that lead to common bugs because it's trained on a lot of common habits, good and bad. Yeah. I know they're really fast to, well, the one thing I'll say about 3, I haven't used GTP 4, but anytime anyone's been like, hey, here, just ask GTP for like a code thing, something about it is just plain flat out just looking at it wrong. Which is cool. Yeah. I don't even understand how they're doing that and not having it like go insane. The question is, are you using it the right way? Well, yeah. I'm not. Most people are just sending me their thing. I'm not using it at all for that stuff. GTP 4 is much more capable than 3, but certainly not infallible either. It's been great. It's not perfect for sure. Yeah. Well, I find I use it a little bit here and there for when I'm homeschooling my daughter for like as a teacher's aide. I'll be like, hey, can you give me X number of this thing in this way? And then it's like, sure. And then I usually have to tell it, hey, I know I said it's for this age, but could you be less pandering and placating like with your language, please? For some terraforming work for the day job. It's been immensely useful. Terraform. Again, another one I don't know that. Unreal documentation, Unreal code, learning CPP. Yeah. Well, it's impacting. We were talking about it a couple days ago, but Stack Overflow is getting impacted by it immensely because Stack Overflow becomes like everything that's bad about trying to learn anything about computing with people who like the most off-putting nerd. You know what I mean? And so it's nice to have like ChatGPT is not going to tell you you're an idiot before giving you a response. So it does it even if you're not telling it to treat me like an idiot. I keep asking it questions like, how do I do X? And a response, doing X is hard. Maybe you should hire a professional to do X. Dude, when they monetize this stuff, when the free thing becomes monetized, how are you going to know what in the response is the ad? You know what I mean? Like, is the training data going to be what's for sale so that it is more suggestive that you drink Coke over Pepsi? And it made my Krita plugin on the first try. It made it better than I did. Oh, that's cool. The worst thing is asking someone, dude, that's the Home Depot problem. That's why I hate going to Home Depot, Riemann. I hate that. Because I'll go into Home Depot, I know exactly what I need, and they'll be like, well, what are you trying to do? And it's like, tell me where this is. Like, I don't want to tell you what, I don't want to have to explain, because then you explain, and they're like, well, why are you doing it that way? And it's like, look, I only have so much money. I don't want to have to explain that I'm not, you know, all this other stuff. Just like, where is this in your store, please? So that's why I hate getting help at places like Home Depot and stuff, is because that's generally the first question. But if you here's what I've noticed about Home Depot. If you walk in and you have dirty pants and you're wearing dirty boots and you just like, they just leave you alone. It's like, that guy knows what he's doing. That's so funny. dirty clothes is a social hack. Yeah, it's seriously, it's leave me alone. It's that's totally what do they call that? Social engineering. It's just like or wear just when you go into Home Depot, just put on an orange vest, right? All right. I might actually use groups in Godot right now. I never use them, but I might actually do that. Um, yeah, I'm actually. Well, I just generally don't have a need for them. Um, but yeah, I think I'm gonna use groups to determine who is like playing a game and who is just in the chat that exists on the like avatar system. Okay, we're really breaking things. Here we go. And even this probably shouldn't. You know what? Let's not even do this. We're gonna. Ah. Why does it keep un? Are they saying I hate you? I hate you. This is the happiest song about hating somebody. Got to get some work done. All right, Riemann, have a good night or have a good day. Sorry if I missed you. I might stream a bit again. That's good, dude. I mean, it's a good way to stay motivated. I use it like clocking into work. And I don't know how Mud does it, frankly. Because that dude's like working a legit, 9 to 5-er and more than that. Working, I mean, it's like going home, like you were a mechanic and then you go home to work on cars again. It's hard to keep that burning. I just take lots of naps. Yeah, I mean, if that works. So, just a heads up, on Thursday, my mom's got her treatments, so I'm not going to be streaming any dev, but I may stream after I come back home from that. My daughter and I may end up going out to the backyard and camping. We're going to set up the tent. And I may be able to set up 2 camera setup where one's pointed at the fire area and then one's pointed at the tent, and then do a shotgun mic. So I might try streaming some of it, just me and her just having fun. I will not be looking, if I do that, it would be under IRL and I would not be looking at the chat or anything, so I wouldn't see what anyone's saying. But I thought it might be fun just to have that on. But we're just going to have a fun day of like camping in the backyard and then spend the night outdoors and just do a trial run of camping in a safe place. And then Calvin, the dog, he'll probably be there for the whole thing. Huh. And then my wife is going to start streaming. We're still trying to decide if she'll stream on my channel or her own, but she'll be doing like art streams and stuff like that at night. I don't understand those line numbers. Oh, it's just it's relative. So the number here is the actual line number, like if you had an error number. And then these here are how many down from where I am a line is. So if I wanted to go to line 7 down, I could type see, I don't even remember off the top of my head as far as directions are concerned. But I could type 7 and then the direction. Oh, just because that way, it's just like an easier way to think about positioning. It's like relative positioning. I don't use it enough, frankly. I should start practicing that right now, actually. So like J. So if I do a number and then up and down, right? So if I do, like I want to go down 5J. If I want to go back up to Paxine, I could do 7H. See, I need to be doing this stuff. I'm handicapped. I just can't. My brain. Yeah. But yeah. So like 10K gets me up there. 5K gets me up to Godot. See, I got to be doing this. Puzzling. But like if I wanted to go over to court on the other scene, for me I just could control L and then I would do 13K and that'll get me, or sorry, 14 what would be 13J? That would get me down to court. So it's this is the stuff I need to be like practicing more. And in Vim, you should be able to do things in like 3 strokes. But pretty much you should be able to get to where you need to go with that many strokes, keystrokes. All right, so we're working on. All right, so now we need to, in the avatar system, we need to get a notification to create, to add, right? So, all right, let's look at. Let's see. I'm gonna look at. We'll move this over here. That cleaning exhausted me today. All right, speaking of breaks, I'm going to go grab some tea. I'll be right back, and we'll keep at it. boy. All right, go lay down on the couch. Oh, you're soaking wet. Did you get in the creek? Come on. Oh, over here. Yeah. No. You can play with that, but I'm not a biting thing, okay? All right. Are you seriously starting to eat the couch? Buddy, I'm going to have to kick you out if you eat the couch. Don't eat the couch, okay? All right? Poo stack. How you doing? I'm gonna give a shout out. I usually only shout out streamers, but I'm gonna give a shout out to Pooh. Pooh's been so supportive. Oh, not Pooh Stag. Although, Pooh Stag? What do you think? How is the cleaning going on? It's good. I can show you the. Well, actually, I'm in the middle of breaking everything. Let me see. I could keep it. I think I could rewrite like one or two things here real quick, and we'll be able to. You can see what I'm doing. What do you got? What are you chewing? No. Don't chew that. Don't chew it. No. Drop it. Calvin. Drop. Here. Stick. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Take this. Take this instead. Cal, the doll. Take the doll. Cal, the doll. Take the doll instead, Cal. No, don't sacrifice the box. Cal. 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 Here. Here's a stick. Here's a stick. Here, take the stick. Ha ha ha! I've tricked you. All right. Ugh, he destroyed it. You just took my first time. Oh, this is the first time you've been shouted out. Give me a second here. I'm just going to finish writing this up here, and I'll show you what we got going on here. Landnama. Very nice strategy survival game. Is that the one, the ocean one? Hey, that's my hat. No. You're not going to chew my hat. Ah. Man, this dog. There's a demo available. Is it on Steam? Nick's back. Chicken. Chicken. Excuse me. Finally watched the new Blade Runner. Well, relatively new. So I can show you the game right now. I'm just moving some things around, getting it to we've got the ball arch looking right. Oops. Cut to me. Score system's working. Spoofer's working. We had a memory leak this morning that we fixed. It finally looks normal again. Yeah, it's going to look even better soon. So what I'm working on right now is I'm actually removing the avatars outside of this into their own place so that we can then start working on seeing who's in chat and if they've ever chatted before, adding their avatar onto the scene. So, yeah, so we're working towards that, and also the avatars will just exist outside of the game. And then whoever joins the game, the people that aren't joining will be part of the crowd, and the people that are joining will come into the scene and like they're actually going to get ready to play volleyball. Sean, it's back. So this is playable now. It does work. I've tested it in chat. We got so many accomplishments to get here. It's hard to remember everything. As far as the port to C# and everything, there's a bunch of things going on there. There's the moving. The biggest thing really was getting the. Yeah, that's working good. Except Dev still. So there's a bug right there. So. Oh no, he was receiving. Didn't they both gain a point? I don't know. Maybe. It's possible. I have to look at the stream again. I mean, one of them already had a point. This is the other thing is we're not showing that stuff very well. Let's give a shout out to Sean. Shout out, Sean Dewhurst. Sean's also doing stuff in Godot. You haven't been streaming lately, huh? So we need a celebration and a loss animations and all that stuff, and there to be a pause before the next round starts. And it needs to be like serve, and then points, and like all that crap, right? We don't have any of that right now. But we're going to get there. It's funny because that stuff, I guess I should, if I want to build the stream up, get more people to watch, that's the freebie stuff that I should be working on to really make things pop, that I'm not. Because I want the underlying core stuff set up in such a way where I want to be able to start just pumping out games with this, right? I wanted the chat's command system set up in a way where I could create commands for a specific thing and handle those in a clean way. We've got that going. Now we're moving the avatars into their own like controller. Hang on, my dog's eating something. I need to see if it's something important or not. No, it's perfect. and then they lose. Okay, so that's the fail state and all that stuff is just it goes away. So obviously we need celebration. Um, but the simulation and all that stuff is great. That's running along fine. That's if we look at the spoofer, here is where the self-playing logic is. So on a per game basis, we can spoof some logic based on whatever events we give it. So we set up some probabilities of whether or not somebody will bump, set, or spike, or just not issue a command in time. Other games to spoof this stuff is going to be a lot. We're actually going to have to develop some AI. And in a way, the spoofer has actually set us up to allow for AI. So I could spoof, we could, oh my God, I've actually done a ton of work for myself and I haven't realized it. It's just occurring to me. So if somebody wants to play the game and there's not enough players, we can set it up where we just create a bunch of bots and those bots will play and they'll have like different probabilities of whether or not they'll hit or not. So that's possible with the spoofer now, actually, come to think of it. And maybe we create our own bot spoofer, which would be a little bit different than just like the base spoofer. But anyway, so that's looking good. What's he got now? Hang on. What do you got, buddy? Ah, you're chewing everything good. No. Not that. I need that. Hang on. I don't want to kick you out. What about the Lorax? What about, is that good? Chew the Lorax. I'm going to take this away. This is my nerdy dad hat that I wear when I'm working in the yard, doing yard work. And it actually looks huge because the because of the headset. I also like to sometimes Crocodile Dundee it, and I'll just put it up on one side. Be like, g'day. Anyways, all right, let's get back at it. So yeah, right now I'm working on getting it to where the avatar system can start to populate new players based on who's chatted, who's in the chat, that kind of thing. So this is quite a thing to do. Hang on, I gotta kick the dog out. He just wants to chew. I understand. Can you sit? Can you sit? Sit. Listen. I gotta kick you out, okay? Okay. I gotta kick you out. Alright? You're a puppy and you need to chew, okay? That's totally understandable. You're not in trouble. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do as a puppy. And you're not chewing me, and that's good. Okay? But I'm going to take you and I'm going to tell you to go outside so you can find something good to chew on, okay? Does that sound like a plan? Alright, let's do it. Come on, let's go. Let's go outside. Hey, let's go outside. Boy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Out. Outside. Let's go. Let's go. Out. Outside. Calvin. Outside. Are you idling, son? How you doing, Mariano? Let's do a shout out to Mariano. Mariano is a machine. Just dude, if you guys ever want to just see someone work in Mariano's streams, he's just constantly giving his train of thought and um just really working through his process in a really clear and like rational way, unlike how I work. So if you want somebody who's sane at programming, then check out Mariano. I am in mourning. What's going on? Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that. Are you going to take a break from streaming? You know, we lost during COVID. We lost my wife's grandmother. Um, it was really It was a bummer because it was right at the start of it, and we couldn't see her. Like, it was one of those things. We knew it was happening. And we knew it was going to come soon, and we couldn't visit her, and it was awful. I'm really sorry. Uh, yeah, that's understandable. Well, it sounds like you were close to her, so um, yeah. Grandmothers are special. Okay, so now we need a list of avatars. She was your godmother, yeah. Well, hopefully, I don't want to take away from any of your, what you're feeling. Well, hopefully, this, you can just relax and. Okay. And I'll be right back. I need to use the restroom. All right, I'll be right back. Whoops. Dev, how's it going? Nice. So today, the game's working. The ball arch and all that stuff looks really good. But we're working on separating the avatars from the game, the main system of the game, so that we can have like you can join in or not. So that's what I'm working on right now. But you'll still exist in the system, in the world, so to speak, regardless of if you choose not to join. You'll still be there in the background, but just not playing the game. And then if you decide to join mid-game, it's like in real life, you just run out onto the field. Just like in regular volleyball, you just people come and go, people in the crowd. That's exactly like professional volleyball. So this should happen on the reception of a message. We should be able to test this right now. So if we run the game and I send a message, I should just appear. Hello. And I did not. Okay. So let's do some breaks. You know, it's interesting, that stuff, because I don't, I'd have to track it down. Like, there's some legit things to investigate and scrutinize, but, oh, there it is. Okay. Is this boring to watch? Would people be weirded out and think I'm a big ufologist or something if I watch this? Hashtag I want to believe. Whoops. So this guy comes off as a kook, in my opinion. Hoorah. So this guy's stuff is the most credible thing. The videos that's released by the Pentagon of what they were tracking, it's indisputable the speed at which the object was moving. Like, it cannot be argued that whatever that was not a balloon, for instance. That's insane. It was going like Mach 3. um, okay, so we're getting the wrong node. We don't need to do that. Just add child avatar. Instantiate the scene. Of course, it has to become a left and right issue. Thanks for that. That's always encouraging. Ah. Losing me? Huh? Oh, let me check the stats. It looks like it's only you. I do have some drop frames, but they're gone now. Okay. Other streams are okay. Yeah, I did see some drop frames, so I must have lost it for a second. They don't want you to know the truth. So they're trying to stop my stream, but I won't let it happen. Yeah, there was a dip. Was the sound coming through? Yeah, kinda. They're trying to block us from the truth, Nick. I don't know, man. Dadgimmit. Dadgimmit. They're going to do it. Dadgimmit. I don't normally talk like this, but because I'm a politician, I gotta sound a certain way from my constituents. See, dadgimmit. We get it. Oh my God. They don't want us to know the truth. Okay.